This video let's talk about the latest shelling file tree board open source machine RGB20 Pro. This handheld screen is 3.2 inches for than 31024x768 resolution. This resolution can be 5 times the point-to-point GB, 4 times the point-to-point GBA, and will soon be put on sale with the tree board to blow the honey is the same screen. Alive the dark screen performance can be. Leakage of light is not obvious. The screen's viewing angle is also not much of a problem. In the color performance, the screen saturation in the middle of the road, the screen bezel up and down not short side, the lower border with a big chin. The machine uses the RK3566 chip. Performance than the full-time H700 strong 25% or so. This chip to play the highest emulator PSP. DC root group sex. Most medium volume games can be played smoothly. God of War and such a large volume of. Know the performance of the game will have obvious lag. Machine with vibration motor. Battery capacity 5000 mAh. Lasts 4 to 6 hours. Charging time about 2.5 hours. Standby for a day about 10% to 12% battery power. The price of the handle without card is $298. Add 64G card is $338. Take off the slow charging. The following is the body of the machine. At the bottom of the box there is a CTY charging cable. Nothing else. My machine is yellow color. What do you think about the appearance of this can be scored? The back of the machine is a cardboard design. The RGB20 Pro is a vertical cardboard machine with a dual rocker look. The screen with dual joysticks. Only one speaker in the center. The casing continues the texture of the vertical RGB20. The overall workmanship and paintwork is well polished. The front side is covered with a layer of acrylic plastic shell. Personally, I think this design is quite good looking. However, due to the process of the transparent PC shell, there will be watermarks on every opening pillar. Perfectionists may not be able to accept. Let's take a look at the machine's ports. Left side game card slot. Reset button on the right side. Power button system card slot. Bottom 3.5mm headphone port. The power plus and minus are placed in the center of the front. All games on this machine are full screen by default. The system does not come with a mask. If you want to switch to native scale, you have to call up the two-way menu in the game. Select video. Turn on integer scaling. Select the aspect ratio provided by the core. This will display the game in its native scaling. Run the integer scaling area of the GBC. About the same screen size as the highlighted GBC with increased screen size. About the same size as the GBA's native screen. Next I'll recommend two better shader filters. First up is the Game Boy game. Open the menu and select Shaders. Select Load Preset. Select Hardware Emulation Filter. Select the LCD Mesh Filter. This filter simulates the effect of a reflective dot matrix LCD when turned on. The disadvantage is that it reduces the saturation of the image. GBA also selects the Hardware Emulation Filter. Select Dot-to-Dot LCD 3X. This filter reduces the brightness slightly. The overall effect is still very good. The excess between pixels is very natural. The RGB20 Pro crosskeys are made larger. There is a slight displacement of the mold. The feel of the keys is a soft, conductive rubber. Softer than 353 VS. The keystroke is also shorter. ABX keys are all conductive rubber. The number of press strokes is similar to 353 VS. The keystroke is also similar. The two rockers have a sunken design. Damping is the same as 353 VS. The height is the same as 353 VS. When pressing the thumb overlay, it won't touch the joystick by mistake. Function buttons are hard micro movement. The lower two are the S-swipe keys. The upper two are volume keys. The RGB20 Pro does not have a menu key. You need to use the Select and X buttons for the disconnect function. Select plus L1 is archive. Pressing the double S buttons twice at the same time is to exit. The back keys are the classic vertical and horizontal design. The four back keys are micro keys. Different key segments have been designed. L1 and L1 are low profile. L2 and L2 are high. The pressing weight of the back keys is not big. The RGB20 Pro system is a modified Arcos system. The boot-up time is about 22 seconds. The system itself is already well-tuned. There is no need to change anything. The system defaults to automatic game archiving. Each corresponding model supports game image display and game search. Then there are some normal menu functions and the emulator settings. The RGB20 Pro measures 8.3 centimeters in length, 15 centimeters wide. Compared to RGB353 VS. Thickness comparison between 353 VS and GPC. 353 VS weighs 198 grams. GPP weighs 148 grams. GPC weighs 180 grams. Test the effect of external playback. Here is the beginning of the simulator operation test. Running a large emulator. For example, when running a PSP emulator, be careful to switch the performance of the emulator to high performance. Some emulators have a power saving mode as the default performance regulator. If you want to run smoothly, you must switch to performance mode. Before switching to performance mode, I was running Matchless Snake. I couldn't get 30 frames per second at double the resolution. After switching, it can stabilize 30 frames per second at double resolution. When this